It's 60 seconds after 3 p.m. in Trinidad and Tobago, and you're listening to DJ Mamu Radio TT.com. Extremely hot weather conditions outside. Yesterday we had a public holiday, and many family and friends decided, well, it's not a good day to really go out, but stay home and make amendments to what you have at home and prepare yourself for a good life. And preparing yourself for a good life, you need to have somebody have good health. So therefore, today our program will be aired from 3 to 4 o'clock, and that is support your health naturally. These time changes do occur from time to time based on Dr. Jason Batson's commitment to other places, patients, radio stations, and so on. So, we have to at least give it to him. He's always there, encouraging people, telling them the right thing at the right time, ensuring that you get the message across. So, listeners here, there, and everywhere, those of you listening on the World Wide Web, we'd like to welcome Dr. Jason Batson to the program once again. Doctor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farouk Bash. Appropriately called DJ Mamu. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great by the grace of Almighty God.
Amen, amen. So glad to hear that. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to all our listeners or viewers. Keep in mind we are live on our social media platforms. We had a very good live this morning, and of course, we spoke about this one this afternoon, and it's a good time for those of you who may be on your way from work, who may be in the little traffic, to actually hear something that may be beneficial to you as well as some family member or some friend, And what we're going to discuss and we're going to touch on a bit today is that issue associated with diabetes. We've spoken about diabetes in a while. We had some questions forthcoming. Where that is concerned, we're going to touch on that. We're also going to talk about sleep and those of you who work very hard, like most of us, what could you do to really rejuvenate that body? Is it that you find the energy levels that you used to enjoy, you no longer enjoy them? You find you're very tired. You find there's a situation where sleep, you're not able to sleep as you would like, so you have problems maybe falling asleep or remaining asleep. Or the possibility exists that you are sleeping, but after the fact, what you find is that you do not feel rested. Or you are someone who have a lot of responsibility. So you may have a lot of family responsibility. Your job may be one that takes a lot out of you. What can you do? Is there anything that you can do to get better energy? Is there anything that you can do to be able to remember better? Is there anything you'll do to able to improve your strength? The men listening, is there anything that you could do to improve even your erection? That's a question that a lot of men have. So we're going to be touching on some health topics today. We're going to be touching, as I said, on diabetes and some of the complications associated with diabetes. Keep in mind, it is a question and answer session. We are live on 4 of our social media platforms, or 3 rather. We are live on Facebook, which is Batson and Associates Limited. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And of course, I am Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director of Batson and Associates, where our key and primary job is to ensure that we support your health from a natural and integrated perspective. So that's what we're going to speak about today. How could you feel better, look better, feel healthier, better energy? As I said, if you're a male and you're a little older, could you improve your erection? And one of the things we're going to touch on today as well is the misconception that people have, or that we have out there, about vitamins and herbs and supplements and that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of misconception that people have as regards to what is food, as regards to what makes sense from an integrated perspective. As I said, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Jacqueline Tyson out in the Southland there. A pleasant good afternoon to Mumina Mumin. And of course, we are live on our Instagram. We are Batson and Associates TT on Instagram. We have a number of persons joining us there. Jonelle has joined us. We have Josiah has joined us as well. We also have Andy Mustafa has joined us. We have Ms. Della C. Mr. Late has also joined us as well. Ms. Warner. So, and let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Ms. Kamala Samaru. So, as I said, we're discussing diabetes because someone was asking about the integrative diabetes clinic that we have at Batson and Associates. And one of the things that we're doing and we started doing is actually having integrated clinics. So, integrative diabetes clinic, integrative prostate, integrative thyroid. And the reason why we have to do that now is to ensure that we specify to persons what we are able to do and accomplish for them. Simply because a lot of individuals may know about Batson and Associates, they may hear about Batson and Associates, but they don't know exactly what do we deal with. If I have a problem with my thyroid, could I go to these people and get help? The answer is yes. If I have a problem with arthritis, could I go and get assistance? Yes. Diabetes? Yes. Hypertension? Yes. Blocked arteries? Yes. As regards to dietetics, you have a problem with a kidney challenge and you want a proper diet, because I'll tell you something, you need specific diets for specific ailments. And I say that to help you to understand that the diet may not be a consistent diet in the sense that it's not something that you're going to have to do for a number of years, but it may be just an adjustment that you may have to make for a specific period of time, which may be like about 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. And then subsequent to that, when we have accomplished our goals as regards to your health condition, then we can now tell you, listen to me, you can do this now and you no longer have a therapeutic dose, but you have a maintenance dose. And that is something that a lot of people do not understand. I'll give you an example. Some people talk about vitamin C. Now, I will tell you, my job and part of my key training is in medical dietetics and clinical nutrition. So it means that I have the ability to make recommendations that is going to help the body to heal itself in various aspects. Now, that's something that a lot of people don't understand. So I'll give you an example. Most commonly, when people use vitamin C, how much vitamin C do they usually use? As far as you're aware. They usually use vitamin C like maybe a 500 milligram or 1,000 milligram. The thing is, a number of individuals are not aware that 500 milligrams of vitamin C is not doing anything for you. 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C is not doing anything for you. This is adults we're speaking about here. I'm not speaking about children. Right? So in a particular instance like that, you may come to us with a particular problem, and I say to you, listen, you now need to take 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C. If you have cancer, you can't take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Will you do that? That's not helping you. If you are someone dealing with cancer, especially if you're dealing with colorectal cancer, endometrial cancer, those different types of cancer. So the general consensus is 1,000 milligrams a day. But what I'm saying to you, if you're dealing with a particular health issue, 100 milligrams is not sufficient. And that is where people like Batson and Associate comes in. Because of our training, we have the ability to give you assistance in any aspect as it relates to the human body. Any aspect. Miss Gemini D. Gemini D, sorry. She said, just yesterday I was recommending your expertise or your expert service to my family member. Yeah. So Miss Kamala Samaru and Miss Ayana Marie, you're not incorrect because the general recommendation is 1,000 milligrams. What I'm saying to you, if you're dealing with a health condition, as I said, if you're dealing with cancer, if you're dealing with glaucoma, if you're dealing with if you're dealing with this thing, Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome, which is inflammatory bowel conditions, you can't use 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. That is not enough to bring about the change that you need to get in the body. As I said, we're discussing diabetes today. The thing is, if you understand diabetes and you understand what diabetes is not something that you should play with. It's not something that you should be friends with because it has no desire of being a friend. For the simple fact that diabetes has a lot of Miss Marsha Mitchell saying, y'all all don't have a WhatsApp number. Actually, we do have a WhatsApp number, ma'am. The WhatsApp number, Miss Mitchell, is 314. That's 314-9975. 314-9975. And you could always WhatsApp that number, get your information as regards to your test, 314-9975. Like I sent it inside of there for you. And you could actually take advantage of that and give us a call or a visit. Good. Keep in mind our special that we have with our live blood analysis, our dry blood analysis, that magnetic resonance analysis. A pleasant good evening to Miss Shireen Jack. So, Miss Mitchell, we put the number there for you, right? 314-9975. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. So, even though you're very welcome, even though we're speaking about diabetes and the complications associated with diabetes, let me tell you something. With diabetes, if you want to have improved eyesight as a diabetic, let me tell you the reason why you should visit Batson and Associates Integrative Diabetes Clinic. One, you will have less dependence. If you come to us on insulin, when we give you our treatment regime and you follow it, you're going to be using less insulin. And that's supposed to be, you're supposed to be glad about that, because insulin is very dangerous, especially as it relates to your eyesight. If you look at insulin users, people who are type 1 diabetics, one of the major issues that they have because of the situation with the diabetes and because of the use of the amount of insulin over an extended period of time, they end up with serious eye problems. So if you're a diabetic or you know someone who has diabetes and they want to improve their blood sugar levels naturally and have less dependent on insulin, then Batson and Associates Integrative Diabetes Clinic is where you should come. Do you have a problem with pins and needles cramping under your feet, burning? Then Batson and Associates is where you would want to be, because in that integrative protocol, which is going to continue and give you recommendations, not only from a supplemental and a nutritional perspective, but even for things that you could use at home. Various programs with intermittent fasting and that type of thing. It's an entire package that you're going to get when you come to Batson Associates in that diabetes clinic in order to give you assistance to have less issues. There isn't anyone who ever came to us with diabetes and was serious that we weren't able to help. There are a lot of persons who, in the clinics that they attended, the doctors had to either take them off a medication, reduce the clinic visits. In other words, they were always improvement. Always improvement. So if you know someone like that, or if you are someone like that who has a health condition and you want to experience better and overall improvement, especially with diabetes, because you see the thing with diabetes, I always tell people diabetes, when you have diabetes, you are like a block of ice in the sun, in the very blazing sun. You also the kind of heat we had earlier in the year, right? And last year. They said last year, July was the hottest July that we had in how much thousands of years, right? So with that analogy, if you have diabetes and you're not minding your business, because a lot of people don't mind their business, you could never be a diabetic client of Batson Associates and lose any of your limbs. Impossible. Especially if you have been dealing with us for an extended period of time. There's a client that we dealt with in Davie. And keep in mind, I have an open clinic day in Davie on the 29th of June, God's willing. So keep that date in mind. The 29th of this month, we have an open clinic. I personally have an open clinic day. Keep in mind, we do have the consultants, Mr. Green, Mr. Ramdan, Mr. Vialva, Mr. Bustamante, who of course would be there depending on where we work. But my particular open clinic day for Davie is on the 29th. So let me give you some advice. If you have intentions of doing your blood and your scan and you're from the South area, what you can do is do it earlier. And you could also do it on that day as well, because I would have a consultant working with me. But you could have it done earlier. So all you do after that or subsequent to that is on the 29th, I do your review and you are on your way to experiencing better health. Okay, Miss Anne-Marie said, this is awesome info you gave me before. Depending on your situation, everyone needs different mg. My 10,000 milligrams did well for me. Good. Yeah. So that is definitely one of the things that you're looking at. Miss Moment says, I am currently one of your newer clients. Anne-Marie actually recommended your office. My treatment regime is currently ongoing. I can certainly say I am truly proud of the improvement in my life. I am very glad to hear that. You all hear that for yourself? New client, and they already experiencing improvement. I'll tell you something about Batson and Associates. Because you see, the thing is, there's a financial consequence to everything. We understand that. We know that. We live in a time now where, especially on the heels of COVID, a lot of people haven't caught themselves, things getting a little more expensive in the grocery and that kind of thing. So we understand the standard of living and what's going on. But what I always tell persons, even if you have to take a little bit out of your good hard-earned money to take care of yourself, it is a wise investment. Because you all know when I end my program, I always end my program, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. There's a reason for that. Because when you look at it, you look at anybody who have bad diabetes. Those people end up as amputees. They end up losing their eyesight. You can imagine as an adult you blind. That's not right. And a lot of people will say, oh God, if I did only know. So it's not a matter of if you only know, you know. Who are Batson Associates? Organization of trained consultants in integrative medicine. That alone makes us different. Simply because our objective is not simply a symptomology, but addressing the root cause of the problem. If you have diabetes, what is causing your diabetes? Now, somebody might say, but that's a stupid question. How do you mean what causing your diabetes? Isn't there one cause for diabetes? Actually, no. There is never one cause for any problem. You could have multiple causes or multiple reasons why somebody got cancer. Multiple reasons or different reasons why different people have diabetes. So don't let them put you and make you think that everybody who have diabetes is the same. That is not the case. They have the main issue, the symptomology, which is elevated blood glucose levels. But what is causing that to happen? Is it a situation where the liver is, all your channels of elimination are blocked up? Kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Ms. Berna, Bethel asked the question that everybody is on the tip of everybody's lips, and we are working assiduously to get that to you. As I said, up to today, I was speaking to them. That's regarding Santulan, and we are getting Santulan soon. As I said, we would not deliberately keep Santulan from you guys. Believe me, I have gotten headaches as a result of this, and I do get headaches. But we're getting it done for you guys. All right, so just bear with us. And again, we'll have our update for you shortly. All right, Miss Kamala Samaru said, my blood sugar level for the past 2 weeks, my reading has been between 165 to 245. Am I pre-diabetic? You may not necessarily be pre-diabetic. What I tell persons to do, the best test to do for diabetes is an A1C. And then you also have to look at what time or are you actually checking your blood sugar levels. Some people say you're supposed to check your blood sugar an hour after you eat. That is not true. That is not true. You have to understand that digestion is different in a number of persons. And if you eat meals that lack certain things, it is automatic that your blood sugar is going to be high. So if you have a meal that does not have sufficient fibers in it, so no grains, no oats, no flaxseed, no chia seeds, those type of things, what do you think going to happen? You're going to have an elevated blood sugar? What about your water intake? How much water are you drinking for the day? When we do live nutritional blood cell analysis, and blood cell analysis is something we do at all of our offices, every last one of them, you can have it done at Davie, you could have it done at Chagonas, you could have it done at Tobago, you could have it done at St. James, and very soon at Longmanville. We are making excellent progress in that office. They're actually painting and putting some things in place. So very soon we will be in a good gear there. Ms. Samaru says that she checks it first thing in the morning. Well, if you're getting 245 first thing in the morning, that's a little on the high side. But what you need to do, or what you could look at how much water do you consume during the day, and what is your last meal at night. That usually is a serious deciding factor in one's diabetes situation. Another thing, all diabetics should have chia seeds in somewhere in their diet because of what chia seeds does to blood sugar. It's an excellent, excellent source of soluble and insoluble fiber. At Batson and Associates, we carry a number of products. Nerve Restore, very good product for a diabetic. It helps in regulating blood sugar levels. It also helps in dealing with diabetic neuropathy, as well as sleep deprivation. And you all will hear a while now I'm speaking about sleep deprivation, and we're going to go over to DJ Mamu shortly. Let me just answer this other question. So when we're talking about sleep deprived, what we mean is that there are people who go to sleep every day, and for the years that they have been sleeping and the amount of rest that they should supposed to have gotten, they have not gotten it. So therefore, you are sleep and rest deprived. People who work at night, so people who are nurses, security guards, cooks, people who stand up a lot, cooks, barbers, you are a perfect candidate for poor circulation, varicose veins, spider veins. So check out our products and services at Batson and Associates. Keep in mind those telephone numbers and locations. And of course, we're going to pass you over to DJ Mamu in a bit. Miss Gemini D says Nerve Restore works wonders. I used it and got great results. I totally agree with you. Excellent, excellent product. So that telephone number, quickly before we go over to DJ Mamu, for the Shoguna's office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Keep in mind, you can have consultations available every day at that office, Monday to Saturday. And that telephone number to call again is 222-8261. The WhatsApp is 314-9975. Also, if you need to get information on any of the products and services that we carry, Nerve Restore is definitely a product that you should look at, especially if you have problems with resting properly. If you may be female and you're going through PMS, this morning we had an excellent discussion on PMS and hormonal imbalance, women who are going through menopause, post-menopause, pre-menopause. There were a lot of questions that we had and a lot of things that we were actually able to bring to light in that regard. As regards, we still have those specials with our blood analysis and our magnetic resonance analysis scan, which gives us so much in-depth information as regards to the body, as regards to what is going on internally. How is your body functioning? Okay, and that is something that we're going to be discussing. Getting back a lot of our products back in stock. We have our Nerve Restore. We have gotten back anthocyanin complex. That's the product for eyes and circulation in the brain. Very, very good product. High ORAC value. Everyone is asking about Santulan, and as I know you guys miss Santulan. No, not as yet. We're working on that assiduously. We have gotten back things like balanced circulation. We have also gotten back our uterine plus formula, excellent product. We got back inflammation formula, our advanced wheatgrass formula. We also got back our circulation regeneration tea. So those of you who that tea works really, really well for people who have problems with hypertension and poor circulation. So if you know someone who have really bad high blood pressure and they want to get improvement in that area, of course, the Alkagen water is something that you need to look at as well. And I always tell persons that Alkagen water is not simply water that we just make to feed to give all the water to drink. The water really works, and it really does have a place in the entire health regime that we're doing for you. Remember, the objective now is to bring about change and to reset the body. We're actually dealing with the foundation aspects of the body, the hydration aspect, the cellular level of hydration. We're also dealing with the gastrointestinal system, which needs to be properly hydrated. So that is where the Alkagen water comes in. So again, you could also get some information on that particular product. Miss Gemini D says, yes, the circulation tea and high blood pressure teas are great. And yes, they are. So much tea. So feel free, call, get some information where that is concerned. So we're going to go over to DJ Mamu. Remember, we are on djmamuradiott.com, where we're discussing support your health naturally with Batson and Associates. And I remember we're working assiduously on getting your Santulan. I know Jen Breeze is dying here. Girl, you alone no miss it. I was supposed to take Santulan since what? February. So I am missing it as well. But we just have a little wait again. We promise you that, and we're going to have that great product that you guys like so much. And it is actually, a product that works, cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So we go over to DJ Mamu, and he's going to remind you of the telephone numbers that you can call, the WhatsApp, and whatnot to actually get in on the discussion. DJ Mamu, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jason Batson, for the volume of information with respect to supporting your health naturally. And may I add in your list people that sell doubles, standing up for long hours, those who are selling their fast foods like the gyros, standing up for long hours. You have to examine all these people, not only the gas station pump attendant, but people who generally and basically stand up for long hours. You hear them saying, boy, when I reach home, my feet aches. But what are you doing about it? You go to the pharmacy and you take 2 Panadol or whatever brand of pain reliever, and there you go. It eases the pain, but you have to treat the symptom. So therefore, we are saying to you, all you people who are standing up for long hours, and even sitting too, taxi drivers, maxi taxi operators, those of you at the office, myself too, also a culprit, and even Dr. Jason, sitting in the office dealing with clients and patients. So there's a time that you have to really understand clearly what getting to Dr. Jason Batson's office is all about. It's your health, it's your wealth, and you want to see your grandchildren. We've said it many times before, you want to see them grow up and you looking good. So therefore, take the initiative now. We are in the middle of 2024, almost the year almost completed. June is already looking to sign off. And, time really flies. You can't say, well, boy, I will do it next week or next month. And then suddenly things happen again. You change your mind and so on. And while you're doing that, you're harming yourself, because whatever is inside of you, whatever a doctor has to get rid from you, it is increasing in size. So I am beseeching you people out there listening to DigitalMammoRadioTT.com, send the message out that Dr. Jason Batson has been in operations in this country for 15 years and doing more service to people to help them understand what health is all about. Dr. Jason Batson is a very serious man. When he sits with his patients, sometimes he would go over time. It's because of his love and his passion for what he's doing.
Amen.
He understands clearly that when somebody is ill and they see a doctor and the doctor talks to them, or maybe the doctor will touch them and pat them on the shoulder, part of their problem disappears. It's like when you have a toothache and you head to the dentist. As you open the door by the dentist, you want to find out which part in your mouth is the tooth really affecting you. You understand? So I'm again asking and telling people out there, listen, every year that passes by, you say, I'm going to do this and do that. Don't let this year pass you by. Otherwise, somebody will be taking you and they'll be saying goodbye. And that is not the way you're supposed to be living. Life is about what you do with yourself. And if you don't care about yourself, who will care about you? You see? So make the effort and go out. Make an appointment, or you can walk into the offices and find out more information about what is your issue and let Dr. Jason Batson assist you and get it correct. And if not, relieve all your pain so you get all the gain. Number to call, 1-868-337-2287. If you'd like to send a WhatsApp message, same number, 337-2287. 337-2287. For the international listeners, 1-868-337-2287. Send a WhatsApp or even a live call, and we'll entertain your calls on DigitalMammoRadioTT.com. It's Thursday, 20th June, 2024, and the time is rolling on. Doctor?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so very much for that. So, Miss Jimmy D says, I always recommend. She also says, thanks to Roma, who told me about this doctor. Yes, Roma always working hard there. And Roma actually has been with Batson Associates 13 out of those 15 years. In fact, 14 out of the 15, my apologies, years There's a question here. Someone is asking, Julia Harewood says, Doc, why am I feeling faintish and bad feelings before I pass stool? Okay. Well, the thing is, if before you have a bowel movement, you feel ill, then, I mean, if it's a one-time thing, it could be maybe what you eat, maybe that gave you a bad feeling or something. If it's a consistent problem where you find every time you go to, before you go to the washroom, you're feeling like that, well, then maybe you should check yourself, maybe in need of a detox. Maybe you need to also check your water. Remember, there's a rule for drinking water, and the rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. So if you weigh 160 pounds, half of 160 is 80. 80 ounces in liters will give you like about 2.5 liters of water for the day. So one of the issues we often find is that most people do not drink sufficient amounts of water. And that is why, no, consistent, well, no, you need to get that checked out. You need to get that, definitely need to get that checked out. I don't know if you ever came to us, if you ever purchased anything from us, but definitely that is a cause for concern. That should not be happening. All right. There's also a question that's asked as regards to, do you have anything for blood sugar? And as I said, yes, we do carry a product called blood sugar complex. That we have gotten a lot of success with persons with that product. Usually when we deal with diabetics and persons who suffer from elevated blood sugar, especially the insulin users, we have a lot more work to do in the sense that when you use insulin for a period of time, one of the things that insulin actually do, and there's something a lot of people don't recognize, the thing is when you use insulin, a lot of times your blood sugar reaches even higher. And there's a number of reasons for that. One of the reasons is the way the body behaves when insulin is actually released. And, you know, a lot of persons, when you actually take insulin, the percentage of insulin that you take as regards to the blood sugar that is present may not match all the time. And as a result of that, you can have serious issues where the blood sugar, is either very elevated or very low, where people actually go into what is known as hypoglycemia, where the blood sugar goes too low and they have to eat something sweet to bring back up the blood sugar. So insulin is a kind of seesaw up and down situation, which, you know, serious individuals who are looking at getting better is not something that you would want to have to use for extended use. It does a number on your gastrointestinal system. It does a number on your metabolism. It also seriously affects your eyesight as well. So, I mean, you already have diabetes. You don't want to add complications associated with that. You know, ask yourself the question, you know, what are you doing on a daily basis to improve that diabetic situation? Good. And that's where Batson and Associates comes in. You know, someone is asking about what is the difference between the live blood analysis, or what is referred to as the live nutritional blood cell analysis, and your regular blood test. And the difference is that with live nutritional blood cell analysis, you're actually able to look at the biological terrain. Now, I was discussing this morning. What biological terrain merely means is that you're actually able to see the base aspect of the human body. So, okay, let me give you an example. So, if we're doing a dry blood analysis, remember blood is a colloidal suspension, which means it has solid and liquid in it. So heavy things would go below, light things would come to the top when it dries. Good. So the thing is, in a situation like that, that is exactly how blood dries. So when the blood dries, we actually able to see a number of things in the dry blood. One, so if you see very large holes in the blood, especially to the center, that is an indication of excessive inflammation or excessive inflammatory response. Now, if you know what inflammation is or inflammatory response is, inflammation, so in other words, the higher the inflammation in the body, the more sick you can get. So much so that doctors tell you, when we measure something known as ESR, which is your erythrocyte sedimentation ratio, which is a blood test that is done to measure inflammatory response in the body. They also do something called a C-reactive protein to also measure inflammation in the body. When these are elevated, it is very easy for you to be sick. So in other words, when we do the blood analysis and we see the high levels of inflammation, we don't necessarily need to know what your diagnosis is enough. But we know that you are in a situation where the environment in the body at this particular point in time is conducive to disease. So therefore, because of that consistency or that conducive nature, where the environment is one that is actually continuing to make you sick, then that is where we need to change the situation. And that is where Batson and Associates comes in. So that integrative diabetic center, as I said, and we're doing a lot of those centers, and that's just to highlight to individuals, one, that we can deal with these issues, two, actually now state the improvements that you can get from attending a clinic like that, so that you would be able to make necessary improvements. That is what you want as someone who's diabetic. So whether you're dealing with diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, PMS, we actually do an integrative PMS clinic as well, postmenopausal syndrome. So you have all these women walking around the place who literally feeling as if they are going out of their minds. And the reason for that is because you can have problems, hormonal imbalance, hot flashes, depression, anxiety, weak feeling, and all of these feelings. Believe me, every single last one. If you are pre-menopause, so before menopause, during menopause, and long after menopause. Don't feel for 1 minute in your life that is only when you're going through menopause you could see trouble. Or you could actually have a very good menopause. You could go through menopause fine. No hot flashes, no vaginal dryness, no irritability, no problem with emotional distress, depression, anxiety. You could go through and not have that. But subsequent or post-menopause, you can have it. And that is something that a lot of people don't understand. I'll give you an example of a client who came to me a while ago. And I'll share with you some of the, without giving out too much information, what were some of the things that that client was going through and what we were able to do for them in 1 month time. But this client had definitely had problems with PMS, post-menopausal syndrome. And as I said, a lot of women, if you could, for example, have diabetes and have hypertension and end up with PMS, and those numbers are off the chain. You taking your medication as normal and your blood sugar reading out of whack. Because that hormonal imbalance, that endocrine problem with the thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, those adrenal glands not functioning the way that they should be. And that again is where Batson and Associates comes in. Tobago office, keep in mind we are in Tobago this coming week here. We have the consultant who's going to be there for 2 of the days. And of course, yours truly, Dr. Batson, would join you on the following week. And that should be from, I believe it is the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday of that week. I'm going to get dates for you guys on Sunday, please God, as regards to that. And again, we are actually giving you that opportunity to book your appointments. I am also in that number for Tobago. Sorry, let me share with you. Tobago number is 226. That's 226 4553. Again, that's 226 4553. And that Tobago, the other number for Tobago, sorry, is 312. That's 312 4248. Again, that's 312-4248. That office is located in the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That telephone number again, and Latoya is waiting to take your call. That number again is 226-4553. That's 226-4553, as well as 312-4248. Again, that's 312-4248. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number in St. James is 220. That's 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Davie, of course, is the corner of Ramsonwood Street and the SS Erin Main Road in Davie. That number for Davie is 223-7515. Again, that's 223-7515. And that office in Davie is located at the SS Erin Main Road and the Ramsonwood Street. And keep in mind, my open clinic day for Davie is the 29th of June again. 29th of June. And Shogunas, of course, is the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. That telephone number for Shogunas again, 220-82. 222. That's 222-8261. Again, 222-8261. Yes, Ms. Shireen Jack says your health is important. If it is important, again. And you know something, when you have the expertise and you have dealt with persons for so long, Okay, Hayden Stewart is saying, do you recommend any formula for tinnitus? Yeah, tinnitus is ringing in the air. That's, you normally find people who would have worked in loud noises in the earlier life. So if you was a DJ, if you maybe used to listen to music very loud, or you had maybe a pong, what they used to call the cars with the heavy pong, that could give you problems with tinnitus. But tinnitus is really a ringing in the ears. And one of the things that it actually does, so there's a product we carry, we have something called anthocyanin complex, and we also have the nerve restore. So it would be anthocyanin complex, nerve restore. What I would also recommend is that you get the Jamaican castor oil, and you actually apply the castor oil, the side of the ear that giving you the problem. What to do? Take the castor oil, put it in the mole of your head. You know, the old people say, put it in the mole of your head, and then the side you actually take it and you put the castor oil by your temple, to the back of your ears, and to the back of your neck. What that does is going to start to open up the lymphatics and try to clean certain things out, because a lot of the times those things need a flush, you know. Remember, when you look at your air, you have the various parts of the air, but outside of that, you have various components that could become blocked up. They can become blocked up with sinuses, they can become blocked up with cold. A lot of people actually get head colds, and if you are a person who have gotten head colds consistently, the possibility exists you have a lot of cold in your head still, because those things don't come out of you. Remember, cold in this particular case is what? Mucus. What does mucus contain? Dead white blood cells and waste. You know? That's primarily what it is. So if you have those things backed up in your sinuses, it is going to prevent your ability to hear properly. Okay? No cold water either. I would not recommend cold water for anybody who has anything remotely resembling sinusitis, asthma, those type of breathing problems. Do not use that. Cold water, that is. Okay. Miss Amanda Waldron says, can you speak about hydrosilase? I'm going to send me to look for the meaning of that. I don't know what that means. I'm going to take a look. Because as I said, you have over 50 something named diseases. So of course I would not have heard of all of them. Miss Joyetta says, good afternoon, Dr. Batson. Good afternoon to you. Miss Shireen Jack says, Doc, I am asking for someone. He never had breathing problems, but he get it now and have to look for money to do an MRI. Can he visit you? Yeah, he can. He can visit us. That's not a problem. Depending on what we see. Now, the thing is, what I would advise, I don't know if he had COVID. The thing is, we have a lot of people who suffer from long COVID, and a lot of people apparently forgot what long COVID is. What long COVID is significant damage to the lungs post-COVID. So most of the time, people who end up with long COVID would have a lot of issues post-infection, right? And the reason for that is because what pathogens actually do to the body as regards to the thing. And we can help people. I remember there's one of the best testimonies that I've had in lung health was a particular young lady who came to us who had gotten COVID 6 times. She had gotten COVID. They made all sort of recommendations. They did CT on the lungs, and the lungs had masses on them. And when we dealt with them over a period, we worked with that young lady for 6 months. And then when we was finished with her and she went and she redid the CT, there was not a mass left. She got so much improvement. And the doctor told her that they didn't have to do surgery again. So that was good news for her. So there are a number of things that you could do if it is you have breathing problems, especially post-COVID. You need to check yourself because a lot of individuals have what is known as long COVID, which is very, very serious. Okay, she said, no, he never had COVID. They tell him his heart. Well, if you're having problems breathing, you could have something known where you have water actually gathering around your lungs. That's never a good thing because that is a pulmonary condition. It's something known as COPD. And that could also be an indication of heart problems. But we could also deal with that as well because the cardiovascular problems could cause problems with breathing. Okay? Ms. Amanda Waldron says, like a big water bladder that develops in the tissue that can be misdiagnosed, or as a hernia, I'm wondering what causes it. Okay, but the thing is, if it based on the definition that you would have given me, there are certain cysts that women get, for example, like Nebotian cysts and various ovarian cysts that women get, which could actually be where you have cysts that actually filled up with water. In this particular situation, you find that sometimes a lot of individuals, if you have problems with electrolytes, excuse me, electrolytes and what is known as interstitial fluid, which is fluid in the cell, intracellular, sorry, and extracellular fluid. If you have intracellular and extracellular fluid imbalance, you could actually find yourself in a situation where you can actually get that problem, that hydrocelis. Okay, I'm going to do some more research on it, and I could always, subsequent to this program, when I'm doing other Thursday, I could actually touch on it again. I'll do some more research and see that. Okay, you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. Today, we are on DJMamuRadio.tt.com. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good afternoon to everyone on that frequency. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. If you like what we're saying, you like what we're discussing, you could always like us, you could always follow us, you could always share the live that we do, because I always try in doing these lives to connect with persons out there who may have various health issues that they do not know how to deal with. So keep in mind, again, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. You are listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. We're having our program with DJ Mamu on DJMamuRadio.tt.com. Keep in mind, we are answering your questions. We got a lot of questions so far, so keep the questions coming. Keep in mind, as I said, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. I'm trying my best to see who on Instagram asked a question. There's a good question here. Oliveri asked the question, seizures. The thing with seizures, I have dealt with persons with seizures on numerous occasions. So what causes seizures are a number of things. One, lack of proper blood flow to the brain, but a lot of the times it's chemical imbalances. A lot of people have problems with dopamine response. They have problems with neurotransmitters. Sleep-deprived people tend to get seizures. The thing is, we have a lot of children now on these phones. They do not go and sleep on time. They hardly get sleep. And because of the lights, a lot of those phones, the lights affect your eyes. So a youngster who might have gotten 6 or 8 hours of sleep is now getting 3 and 2 hours of sleep because they're always in their phone. And then eventually what happens is, because of the neurological imbalance that take place in the brain, you reach a point where you end up getting seizures. You have different types of seizures. You have silent seizures. You have persons who get seizures like with the epileptic fits where they actually beat up and down. We're going to come back to that question in a little bit. We're going to go over to DJ Mamu. I believe he has someone on the line and they have a question.
Yes, doctor, thank you. I have a regular listener, a loyal listener, and that is Rajwati Rupnarayan of Blasphemous number 2, and she was expecting good news with respect to
Santulan. Yeah. My apologies, my darling.
She's in a hammock and just listening to the program on her JBL sound system. Nice. Very powerful. And also indicating, well, Mr. DJ, when am I going to get my products? Well, the doctor is on air, and he is also telling you to hold strain. Just hold on, because he has so many things to deal with respect to getting the volume that is required for all those happy customers. Correct. Those who be using Santulan, like myself, and you feel so energetic and powerful that you want to actually eat everything. Santulan, come on, boy, we are waiting on you.
Definitely.
Okay, Santulan coming for you just now.
Yes, Rajwati.
Hassan, it says happy birthday to the DJ. Thank you, Hassan. Also from Anisha Sheriff of Canada listening to us. And these people are regular fans of DJ Mamu. Also from retired DCP. Oh, that's here. Deodat Dulalchan, thank you for your message. And sometimes he listens. Well, whenever he listens, he gets information.
Good.
To see Joyce of Santa Cruz. Good afternoon to you all there. Carol Mirage, thank you. Right, to tell the doctor be on time.
Tell him a doctor is never late.
Let me tell you something, Carol. A doctor has no time limit.
Never.
Frame,
correct.
right? Because you might call him now, and you'll say, "Well, doc, it's just about 10 minutes," but he spends an hour with you. Why? Because what he saw and what he has to deal with is more than what you were thinking about.
True. Exactly so.
And then he has another call. So doctors are not work with a certain time frame. Yes, they
want us to work with a time frame, but sometimes it's not possible.
And you wouldn't get a cure. You wouldn't get a cure.
You wouldn't get help, and that's something that, because you constantly have people who you deal with, and that's why I often tell persons with the office that we operate. That's why I try for you to see the consultants a lot more than me. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't see me, but keep in mind that workload is going to be so much. And the doctor was sacrificing his health for all. I love you all. But the doctor had to make sure he's healthy to take care of himself, and most importantly, you all. So that's something to keep in mind. Miss Anne Marie is asking the question, is if there is pain in the lymph areas, would a lymphatic drain be suffice to remove the toxins, or do you do a cleanse first? That's a good question. That's Ayana Marine asking question. The thing is, if you have a situation where you have inflamed lymph nodes, and depending on where these lymph nodes are and how long they have been inflamed, well, then that's information I'll have to get. It would possibly mean that you have some lymphatic blockage, which could be caused by a number of things: buildup of toxins, improper flushing of the lymphatic system. Dehydrated people have that problem a lot, because your lymphatic system is the system that is responsible for cleaning your blood, and your lymphatic system does not have a pump like your blood. So your lymphatic system doesn't, like your bloodstream, doesn't have a heart, which is a muscle that pumps blood. Right, your lymphatic system works with gravity, and it also works with hydration, proper hydration, which is water. So it is very, 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 a million very, you could fit in there, important to consume the correct amounts of water. After oxygen, water is the most important requirement for the human body. So what I would recommend you do is, you can do a lymphatic drainage massage. There are places that do that. But what I would suggest you do before you even do that, start drinking more water. Start to drink your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. You could try the alkagen water. As I said, the advantage with that water is that water is, one, it's alkaline, so the pH is 9. In addition to that, the water has ORP, which is oxidative reduction potential, and it also has a very finer particle. So as a result of that, you find the water hydrates. That's why people, when they come and start to drink alkagen water, they say, "But God, this water, you're real peeing, boy." The reason why it has you urinating so much is because it's cleaning from a cellular level. And next thing you hear people say is that they're able to drink more of this water than they would have accustomed. And the reason for that is because you find that the particle size, and it's much smaller. So as a result of that, it actually absorbs better in the body. Okay, guys? No Name Noel says, "Doc, the nerve restore is very good, but it is hard to get when you live overseas, especially since Christmas. Are you still looking into selling it online?" Yes, sir, I am. I actually, yesterday was finished speaking with those people who do our online and all our Amazon business that we're handling right now. So very soon you will have the full cadre of all the products that we offer at Batson and Associates online, where you'll be able to access it anywhere in the world. Okay, let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Jennifer Valentine. She says good afternoon and big up to Dr. Batson, the best doctor. Thank you so very much. DJ Mamusa, you have someone.
Let me get in one here from United Kingdom, and that is Barry Molly. Hi to you. And there's a time difference here, so it's either 4 hours before, 4 hours after, whatever the time they listen. Barry Molly, thanks, and wish you all the best. And there's a question here: is the products of Dr. Jason Batson available at pharmacies? And if so, where?
Okay, good. The answer to that question is no, not as yet. What I can tell you, as soon, the first place you're going to be able to get it would be the Londonville pharmacy. When we open that office in Londonville there, that's going to be the first place. But that's going to be, God's willing, in the next 4 weeks, 1 month from now. And then, but outside of that, it would be only the offices at Batson and Associates. And then we move from there. And eventually you would be able to get it at those other locations. But for now, Batson and Associates.
So, Doctor, we are saying here, for the benefit of listeners, that the products and also the service that you provide is exclusive to you and only to you.
Correct.
Because you have spent time, money, and hours doing research, and you have contracted a group of people to do the preparation of these circular tea.
Yes, those teas and yeah, of course, those things, all those things are brought in, are imported there. Yeah. Yes.
So you have made preparations for this only exclusive to you.
Correct.
And like you mentioned, the first place to get it when it becomes in the open market is the Londonville pharmacy.
Correct.
And I'll take you a bet, when that happens,
yes,
all pharmacies will want it.
Well, that's what we are. That's what we make it. Try and work on that to dot our I's and cross our T's. So we want to make sure and follow all what the authorities say that you're supposed to follow. And we ensure that we do that. And that's why the process is so long, because I mean, I love Trinidad and Tobago. It's just a little bit of peacock here, but a lot of people in the public service don't work as fast as they should work. So, so
they need some
santulan. Exactly. So we're working assiduously on getting that done, and it is going to be done. It definitely is going to be done. So and let me say thank you for because I'm the type of person I believe when you're doing something, do it good or don't do it, don't do it at all. That's how my great grandmother brought me up. She always said, when you do things, do it to the best of your ability, effective and efficient, or don't do it at all. So even though, we had some challenges with product, it is one thing. The reason why our products are so good is because of just that. I made sure, based on my experience, that we get products that work. And if you all think we have product now, wait until later on. We have some really, really interesting news for you guys. But as usual, I want to make sure and what do they say, boy? Let me make sure I get it. They say under promise and over deliver. So that's what I want to make sure I do, as opposed to the other way around.
Let me just add 1 or 2 pieces here about the promise, that even though you're making the promise, we want to note that you can regularize what you have.
Definitely.
And have it
flowing. Correct.
So when you introduce the surprise products, right?
The surprise is maintained.
Right. The surprise will not hamper the operations of the normal, right?
Correct. Yeah. Definitely. Most certainly. Yes. I mean, you taught me well, DJ Mamu. I learned a few things, All right. But most certainly, and Miss Frederica Joseph is asking the question, do you have any Santulan and Nerviso for shipment to New York? Yes, sir. As I said, that we are working on. So Miss Joseph, what you could do, you could get back to the office, that WhatsApp number 314-9975. 314-9975, and I'll have someone who's going to give you some information. Mr. Hayden Stewart says, I agree, you are the best. I have learned a lot from you. You are a blessing to everyone, and you need to be cloned. I humbly appreciate that, sir. Ms. Claudette Williams says, good afternoon, Dr. Batson. So we are very close to wrapping up. So, of course, let me say very quickly, Carla asked a question on Instagram where she said, good afternoon, Dr. Batson. Any advice on bleeding at the back of the eyes? Yes, I could give you a lot of advice. They have been able to help so many persons with that, especially the diabetics who get it. I don't know where you live in vicinity to Batson and Associates, but if you can at least get on to us, the advice I could give you off the top of my head, one, I will tell you, look at your water intake. That's one. Make sure you're drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. Reduce your sugar intake. If you are in fact a diabetic, try, if you are on insulin, to get the blood sugar down to such an extent where the insulin numbers can be lowered, because that's going to help the eyes to improve faster. As regards to products that we offer at Batson Associates, definitely the Alkagen water. I would look at the advanced chlorophyll, as well as the anthocyanin complex and the nerve restore. We also have an IT available as well. You could also look into that. But definitely, because the thing is, when you have problems with bleeding at the back of the eyes, it means you have high levels of inflammation in the cerebral hemisphere, which is in the circulation in the brain, which is causing a problem at the back of the eyes. So you need to deal with that from the entire body, especially, well, you said, yes, you are a diabetic. So that is why diabetics get that, because it is an impairment of the circulation in the capillaries, or what is known as microcirculation. Okay, so very quickly, let me just give you guys the telephone number. It says, good day, my son was in hospital a few weeks ago for dengue. A follow-up visit with the doctor. He is saying he has liver hepatitis. Definitely, what I would tell you with those type of things, liver problems, very easy to solve. What I would say to you, sir, with something that serious, if you could arrange at least a consultation at Batson and Associates, you would not be sorry. I have successfully helped a lot of persons with fatty liver, cirrhosis of the liver even, but it would require a consultation and maybe different blood tests, whatever the case may be, to get various information or various types of information. But a lot of products come in, a lot of those services where you'll be able to actually get our product online. We're working on that. Is Batson only dealing with after God? We have to get this thing done, and we're going to get it done. To the listeners of DJMamuRadioTT.com, always a pleasure. I look forward to speaking to you guys again, and of course, ensuring that we share this great news of good health. That telephone number again, very quickly, for the Shogunas office, 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe, the corner of Ramson Road Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. As well as St. James, Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, 220-8113. And Tobago, keep in mind, everything is running in Tobago. You could go to the office, you could call, you could get your products. We have consultants coming in every week, and yours truly, Dr. Batson, is going to be there from the beginning of July. That number for Tobago, again, is 226-4553. That's 226-4553, as well as 312-4248. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. To the listeners of DJMamuRadioTT.com, again, always a pleasure. To my very good friend, DJ Mamu, sir, a very happy birthday to you from the management and staff of Batson and Associates. And I say this with all my heart. I am very thankful to have known you and to know you, and for all that you have taught me. I always tell persons, I am the sponge in the room. Whenever I always tell people that I learn anything from anyone, but I have learned a lot from DJ Mamu. The eloquence that I have now and the demand that you see before me, DJ Mamu had a lot to do with that. And I am thankful for you, that ever grateful. May God continue to bless you and your family, and I wish you many years to come, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Jason Batson, for your kind words. And birthdays are just another day, and some people say it's an anniversary. Yes, it is. It's a birth anniversary. That's about it.
Correct.
Thank you, and I'll continue as long as God gives me that strength to assist this company to go to a different level, a level where people understand that Batson and Associates is about helping people get better, and not only get better, but understand clearly what your health is all about. Your life is important. And to make your life good, your health has to be better.
Amen.
Thank you again, Doctor.
Yes,
and keep the smile as it is always, wherever you
Definitely.
go. The ladies have been texting me here and indicating that this guy has a gorgeous smile, and sometimes the dreadlocks really look lux.
Yes. Thanks so very much.
And wish you all the best and continued good health. May God bless you, because without health, Dr. Jason Batson, you wouldn't be able to accomplish all your dreams for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And they all love you. All those who can testify and send their testimony to this station or to all the other radio stations that you do programs, and let people know that you're about making things happen, not about joking.
Definitely, definitely so.
Thanks. All the best.
Yes.
And join us again next week. Next week it's going to be from 2:15 to 3:15. Pending any changes, we'll let you know as on djmamoradiott.com. We now continue with the regular programming. Stay tuned.
Yes, guys. Yes. So we just finishing that program there. I think I had Mr. Wayne Ramsey says always information, always informative rather. I think that's what you mean to say, but I got what you mean, sir. Thank you so very much for that. Keep it coming. And he's out of Florida there. Let me see. Miss Frederica Joseph, she wished DJ Mamu a happy birthday. Miss Claudette Williams says, love Eon, feeling like a boss. Good afternoon, Dr. Batson. Good. Nicola Hurd says, thoughts on CoQ10. Does it make a big difference in health, and who need it most? Male, female, and or what age? Nicola Hurd, yes, out of I always remember is St. Lucia, is it? All right, I know it's one of those islands there. Definitely, I'm a big advocate of coenzyme CoQ10. We all know that CoQ10 has serious advantages to the cardiovascular system. As regards to who needs it most, I would say male and females. Both I do when you look at the research that's out there, as I said, male and female needs it. As regards to age, you find persons who tend to be over 50. And depending on what your challenges are. It's New York. Okay, good. I'm putting you in place, girl. Okay, so it's New York, Miss Heard is from. Good. Or resides rather. And with that CoQ10, it's always advantageous in taking it. Always advantageous. Especially for liver health, because you know that is actually produced by the liver as well. So it actually helps. You find people who use statins, if you are diagnosed with high cholesterol, you need to be very careful because one of the things that they found is people who use a lot of statins end up with serious problems with their coenzyme CoQ10 levels being very low. Good, but it is something very important. I use it personally for me as regards to my protocol, my health protocol, and also in designing and tailoring protocols for various clients of various ages. I tell people I'm a supplement guru, I'm going to start to advertise myself as such. Good, guys. We have our program from 5 to 5:30, and we will actually be joining Synergy TV for that program. So we'll be taking our next live. That program, I believe, is anywhere between about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We'll be on with Mr. Harvey Boris. So that is something that you could look forward to, and we'll be discussing diabetes and whatever questions that those listeners are going to be posing for us, we will also be discussing. Why diabetes is because I did a diabetes program for them before, and this is the part 2 of the program. Check out those wonderful products. And as I said, we're working assiduously. Once we get our products on the internationally, then, I mean, believe me, I'm going to have less gray beard when we get that done. So you guys, all in the US and the Caribbean, would be able to access your products and great products at that. Okay, so bear with us. We're getting it done. Those of you who decide to learn, as I said, hold string. I'm holding string as well to ensure that we get your Santulan for you. Okay, guys? So again, those telephone numbers and locations, those of you with the complaints who spoke about the situation with the liver, who may have a serious health issue, I know finances is always something you need to look at. If you can afford your blood and your scan and that entire executive consultation, then do that, because we're going to have all the tie-up or dot all your I's, cross all your T's. If not, and you could just do the consultation, then we go with the consultation. You will at least know a lot as regards to what's going on, and we're going to be at least able to tailor some things for you so that we can do it piece by piece to get you healthier. That's the most important thing. Again, those telephone numbers for the Shogunas office, 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramson Road Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number for St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. Remember, guys, call that number for next week, especially when the consultant is there. That's going to be Ms. Ramdan. That telephone number for Tobago again, 226. That's 226-4553. 226-4553, as well as 312. That's 312-4248. Again, that's 312-4248. You have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director of Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. God bless, guys. Remember that program with Synergy TV, that's starting from 5 to 5:30 p.m. this afternoon. Take care, guys. God bless. Remember, like us, share us, tag a friend.